This title keeps the emotional weight of the situation, but replaces anything inappropriate with a powerful and respectful gesture. It suggests a story in which a simple rancher unexpectedly becomes part of something larger than himself. The event begins with an ordinary man living a quiet life on the open land. He may have a strong sense of responsibility toward his animals, family, and neighbors. One day, he discovers the tribal leader injured perhaps from natural causes such as a fall, a wild animal, or an accident unrelated to conflict. The rancher chooses to help, guided simply by compassion and duty. The next day, members of the tribe arrive. Instead of bringing anything that treats people like objects, they offer something deeply meaningful, a cultural honor, a symbol, a meeting with elders, a peaceful agreement, or a gesture that the rancher never expected. This approach allows the story to carry richness without involving any harmful stereotypes. This title sets up a plot full of curiosity, personal growth, trust building, and cultural understanding. Option 2. Rancher saves wounded tribal leader next day. The tribe arrives with an unusual offer. This version invites mystery. It creates space for an unexpected but wholesome gesture, perhaps an offer of friendship, shared land protection, a unique partnership, or a promise of long-term cooperation. The phrase unusual offer lets the story keep its surprise element. It hints that the rancher's simple act of kindness might open a door to a new experience he never imagined. The tribe could invite him to a ceremony, teach him a tradition, give him guidance, or share knowledge that changes the direction of his life. This title allows space for emotional depth, cultural beauty, curiosity, and respectful adventure. Option 3. Rancher saves tribal elder the following morning. Everything changes. This title gives the story a dramatic, almost cinematic tone. It suggests that the rescue is the beginning of something transformative not only for the elder, but for the rancher himself. Everything changes is a powerful phrase. It hints that after the rescue, the rancher may be welcomed into an unexpected relationship with the tribe. Perhaps they show gratitude in a ceremonial way, or perhaps they protect him from future hardship, or give him advice that shifts the way he sees his life, his land, or his responsibilities. This title allows you to craft a story filled with quiet moments, emotional connection, kindness, and lasting impact. Option 4. A rancher's act of courage sparks an unlikely alliance. This option widens the focus from a single event to a broader journey. The story becomes about unity, trust, and understanding between two different ways of life. It avoids any sensitive content while still allowing strong emotional storytelling. The rancher does something brave, helping someone in need without hesitation. As a result, a bridge forms between him and the tribe. The alliance could take many forms: protection of wildlife, care for the land, shared traditions, mutual support, or cooperation that benefits both communities. This title allows for peaceful themes, long-term growth, character development, and a story filled with hope. The sun had barely risen when Ethan stepped out of his small wooden house the next morning. The air was cool and quiet, and a soft mist floated above the grass. Normally, this time of day was peaceful for him. He would walk to the barn, check on the horses, and begin his work. But today, things felt different. He kept thinking about the wounded tribal leader he had rescued the evening before. The man had been weak, unable to speak clearly, but he had held Ethan's hand with surprising strength, as if trying to say something important. Ethan wondered how the man was doing now. He had left him safe inside the barn, resting on clean blankets, and he had tended to the wounds carefully until late at night. But he knew the tribal leader needed his own people. They would know how to care for him better. As Ethan stood on the porch, sipping warm water from a tin cup, he heard something unusual in the distance. It was not the sound of a horse or a wagon. It was softer, steady, and seemed to echo through the trees. When he listened more carefully, he realized it was the rhythmic sound of many footsteps moving at the same pace. He set his cup aside and walked toward the fence, trying to see beyond the tall grass. A moment later, he saw them. A long group of tribal members was approaching his ranch. There were men, women, and a few young boys and girls. They walked calmly, not in haste or alarm, but with strong purpose. Their clothes were decorated with beautiful patterns, and some carried carved staffs. The colors of their garments seemed to blend with the morning earth, warm and natural. Yet full of life, Ethan felt a strange mix of nervousness and curiosity. His ranch was quiet most days, and seeing such a large group arrive so early made his heart beat faster. He took a deep breath, wiped his hands on his pants, and stepped forward. When the group reached the gate, they stopped in a respectful circle. Then an older woman who appeared to be one of their elders stepped out. Her voice was calm and warm as she spoke. "We come for our leader," she said gently. "We were told he was last seen near this land." Ethan nodded. "He is safe. I helped him last night when he was hurt. He is recovering inside the barn. Please follow me." The group exchanged relieved looks. A few murmured softly to one another, as if expressing gratitude before even seeing him. Ethan led them toward the barn, walking steadily, though he felt all their eyes watching him. When he opened the door, the tribal leader lay where Ethan had placed him, covered with clean blankets. Two warriors rushed forward and knelt beside him. The elder woman touched the leader's forehead and sighed with relief. "He lives," she whispered. "Your hands were kind to him?" The tribal leader opened his eyes slowly. When he saw his people, he smiled faintly. Then he turned his head and looked at Ethan. His gaze was soft but full of meaning. Though his voice was still weak, he spoke a few words in his native language. The others understood at once and nodded. The elder woman turned to Ethan. "He says he thanks you. He says your heart is good." Ethan felt a sudden warmth in his chest. "I only did what anyone should do," he replied quietly. He was hurt and alone. I could not leave him. The group lifted the leader carefully onto a stretcher made from strong fabric and wooden poles. They worked with smooth coordination, each movement gentle and full of care. Ethan stepped back to give them space. He expected them to leave immediately, but instead, the elder woman faced him again. "We cannot leave without honoring your kindness," she said. Ethan frowned slightly, unsure of what she meant. "I didn't expect anything. You don't need to give me anything." She smiled at him, a warm, peaceful smile. "Honor is not a gift," she said. "Honor is a promise. And today, you have earned our promise." Before Ethan could speak, another elder stepped forward. He held a long wooden box decorated with carvings of rivers, mountains, and animals. The box was polished and beautifully crafted. The man opened it slowly, revealing a handcrafted necklace made of carved bone, stones, and thin strands of woven fiber. Each piece looked carefully shaped, as if it carried a story or memory within it. "This is a symbol given only to protectors of our people," the elder said. "It is rare. It is not given lightly. Our leader wishes you to have it." Ethan stared at the necklace, unsure if he should take it. I don't know if I deserve something like this," he said honestly. "I only did what I felt was right." "It is because you felt what was right," the elder replied, "that you deserve it." Slowly, Ethan reached out and accepted the necklace with both hands. The material felt warm against his skin, as if it had been touched by the sun. He felt a strange, deep sense of connection. It was not just a decoration. It was a sign of trust, a sign of respect, a symbol that he had done something meaningful. The group bowed their heads slightly toward him. Ethan felt overwhelmed. He had lived quietly for years, working with his animals, fixing fences, and tending his land alone. He had never expected anything like this recognition, appreciation, a bond with people he did not know. But at that moment, standing in the morning light with the necklace in his hands, he felt part of something larger than himself. The elder woman spoke again. "We would like you to visit our village one day, if you wish. Our doors would be open to you." Ethan nodded, touched by the invitation. "I would be honored," he said sincerely. The group began preparing to return home. They carried their leader carefully and respectfully. Before leaving, several of them placed small woven symbols near Ethan's barn, token signs of gratitude, each made by hand. They were small items, but their meaning felt big. Ethan watched quietly as they walked away in a long line, moving smoothly like a river flowing through the land. When they finally disappeared into the distance, Ethan stood alone for a long moment. The ranch was quiet again, but it no longer felt the same. The morning air felt brighter somehow. The land seemed gentler, and the necklace in his hands reminded him that a single act of kindness could change a life. Not just the life he helped save, but his own. He walked back to his porch and sat down, holding the necklace carefully. He thought about the tribal leader's eyes, filled with gratitude. He thought about the respectful group that had visited his ranch. And he thought about the promise they had given him, the promise of honor, friendship, and connection. Ethan placed the necklace around his neck. It rested lightly on his chest, but its meaning felt deep. He knew that this moment would stay with him forever. He would remember the courage he found, the kindness he chose, and the unexpected bond that had formed between two different worlds. Days later, Ethan found himself looking toward the distant hills, wondering when he might visit the tribe's village. The thought filled him with curiosity and hope. He felt that his life had shifted quietly, gently, towards something new, something good, and as he walked across his ranch, going about his daily work, the necklace glimmered softly in the sunlight, reminding him that even the simplest act of compassion could bring unexpected honor, friendship, and lasting peace.